Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
This is your Weather Extreme video for Saturday, November the 20th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and let's get right to our Skycam network this morning. There's, starting in the south, how about Gulf Shores? The lights along the beach down there, and we certainly have some low stratus clouds this morning. Looks like the area around Gadsden is really socked in. I know that the camera's having a little trouble focusing there, but still kind of a neat picture as we get some fog in the valleys. And then how about a shot over the lights of Birmingham with some of that low stratus? Those low stratus clouds this morning creating a bit of temperature forecasting issues with cooler temperatures in the east part of the state, the east central part of the state, where the clouds just did not occur, and so temperatures dropped off significantly. We'll get to the temperatures in just a minute. A good deal of fog from the Ohio River Valley all the way down through the lower Mississippi River Valley ahead of that front. That front's going to give us a forecasting problem for the next few days, especially into Thanksgiving. Right now, my forecast indicates that the front will probably come through during Thanksgiving Day and into the evening hours that night, but it might be delayed till Friday as the models are having a little bit of a problem with it. One of the reasons that we're going to see a fairly good rain event is that we're under a southwesterly flow, and that southwesterly flow is actually helping to keep the front from getting here, because as the front becomes parallel to the flow, it can't push through. Temperatures across the eastern half of the country, very warm, but notice those really cold values up there, anything from -11 to about -20 up there in south central Canada. So very, very cold. Dr. Tim Coleman had a little special blog post about all of that, so go ahead and scroll down and you can see that. Here's the temperatures across central Alabama, and again I mentioned that where the clouds did not occur, like over at Gadsden and Fort Payne and over in extreme western Georgia, that the temperatures dropped into the 30s, but if you got into the clouds, they stayed in the 50s. So and then sort of the Tennessee River Valley, some of those clouds I think did form a little bit. They stayed in the 40s. You can tell it's winter because look at all those various and sundry winter storm warnings, watches, and all kinds of things out there in the western part of the United States as the weather system begins to get together. And the Storm Prediction Center is not outlooking any area for any organized severe thunderstorms occurring today or the next couple of days, and it looks like most of the rain is going to stay a little bit to our north for the next 5 days, as our main rain event is going to come probably on Thursday and Friday, which is getting right to the end of this particular period, so much of the rain off to the north. And as we're only 10 days from the end of the tropical cyclone season for 2010, none being watched. All right, this is the 06Z GFS model run, and here is the 500 millibar chart for tomorrow. At midday, this is noontime for Sunday, the 21st, and you can see the ridge holding pretty good with a very deep trough over the western part of the country. Underneath that, of course, we've got lots of cold air. As you can see, the thickness value is dropping down to 540 all the way down into Southern California, and that's, of course, where all those winter storm watches and warnings and advisories were. The flow remains pretty southwesterly for us, and the result is, of course, that the front, while it moves across the mid-Mississippi River Valley, is not likely to get here. However, as the flow becomes more southerly and southeasterly, we do see moisture increasing, and I think Monday's going to be dry right now. The GFS suggesting the possibility of a shower or two, but I think if we see anything, it'll be very isolated. The flow remains very southwesterly and very strong and zonal as the ridge holds over South Florida, and of course that does keep the front at bay, but close, but at bay for us. This is Tuesday, and I think we could see some possibility of the front getting into northwest Alabama but stalling out. Again, the flow remains slightly southwesterly, and so with that, the front is just not going to get very far, and therefore, of course, the forecast for precipitation just to our north. By Thursday, kicker is really coming in, and that looks like that's going to begin to kick things through. Now, the question is going to be whether there are some differences in the model, so it's a question of whether the GFS is right or the others are right, but that would suggest that the front definitely comes through here on Thanksgiving Day, and what that could mean is notice that 540 line all the way down to about Cape Girardeau, approaching Memphis. What that could mean is that Thursday would be a day where the temperatures probably don't change much. Morning low around 53, afternoon high 56 to 58, something like that. And then the flow goes very much northwesterly on Friday, and that brings the 540 line all the way down to about Chattanooga. Now, this is suggesting that it's not going to come, really deep into the southeastern U.S., but we'll be watching that because the GFS could be wrong on this, and it might be wrong because of the depth of the cold air. It may be missing some of the factors here. The flow stays northwesterly on Saturday, so another cool day. Of course, the previous day was Black Friday, and it looks like a good shopping day for us. And Saturday looks like another great shopping day with a 1024 high centered over about Hattiesburg, Mississippi. All right, going out into voodoo country, and there we come, another system around the 1st of December that will bring us another rain event out there in the Four Corners area. And then finally, another cold round around the 4th of December with another fairly substantial trough coming through the eastern half of the country. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Extreme video. I expect to have the next one posted first thing tomorrow morning by about 7:30 or 8. In the meantime, I hope that you have a great Saturday, and Godspeed.
Each day there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.